Jumbo, fellow adventurers, third time charm. A little trouble here with Facebook connecting. Thanks for your patience. I'm Mike Dooley, and this is another spiritual tune up. All right, so today's question is another heartbreaker. We probably all felt it to some degree or another. It's something that I have fielded from audiences the entire 20 years I've been teaching, and that is the sentiment that somehow the questioner feels like they're losing it. Like they once had it. They once believed in manifesting. They were once really good at creative visualization. And now today life is hard and they lost that edge and they don't have the traction. Come on, you're way too hard on yourself. You're not taking a lot of things into account that need to be taken into account. Let me get my Facebook page here. Okay, so first and foremost, one of the biggest stumbling blocks in understanding ourselves and reality is the bogus assumption that all things are constant and equal other than that one thing that we're zeroing in on. That everything else is the same. You compare yourself to other people. You compare yourself to the past as if all other things were the same. Nothing is ever the same. Okay, you are of God, by God, pure God. Your default setting is to thrive. Your default setting is to auto heal. Your default setting is abundance, friends, clarity, laughter, confidence. It's just that when we don't know this, we drill down, focusing in these areas where we're not finding satisfaction, and they start expanding, blinding us to all else that is good. Here's what I want you to get here. When you're comparing yourself to the past, back then, you've heard the expression, ignorance is bliss, right? So you had this ignorant bliss that you carried with you everywhere when you were a teenager, in your 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s, whatever it is for you. And you just thought, man, I am all that. Oh man, I'm automatically making my thoughts become things. Oh wow, this is great. There's a law of attraction. I already knew that. But you were ignorant to so many other levels of the game. Nothing mitigates thoughts becoming things. But when you realize suddenly that you think more thoughts than you were aware of, when you realize suddenly that you've got invisible limiting beliefs, and you haven't begun to start untangling them yet, suddenly you feel like you were less than you were before, when actually you are more. Your game was down here. Ignorance is bliss. Aren't I wonderful? And you have lifted it up to the stratosphere. And from the stratosphere, you see a lot more variables on the table. And you're like, oh my God, I was confident before, but now I'm scared. Would you really want to go back to those naive, ignorant days of your 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s? Really? You would not. It might be at times when you have a broken heart or you feel wounded that, yeah, just give me stupid, all right? Because I really did that well. I didn't even know I was stupid. But when you're in that realm, you can't see what you can't see. You don't know what that is, and you can't go as high as you could possibly go. There is such a plateau out there, and it's not that it ever levels off, that it is unimaginably cooler, richer, happier, more joyful, loving, sexier than you can comprehend today. That's waiting for you. And that's why you're here. You wanted the whole deal. And as you started leveling up and bringing your game higher and higher, suddenly you became aware of the lions and tigers and bears that were always there. Now that you know about them, you can deal with them, learn a few new tricks, go within, contemplate, meditate, focus on happiness and not the bling. And that's the best way to get the bling. And you can totally anchor yourself. Whereas before, any successes in your naiveties and ignorance, they were fleeting. Okay, you might make a few steps forward, there'd be a few steps back. It might last for a couple of years and then it would go away for a couple of years. And that is what you're doing to yourself now. You're looking back at the ignorance and the naiveties and you're thinking, oh, that was so great. You're not realizing it was filled with a lot of heartache back then and that you wanted more. at a higher level, more security, greater anchor, less fear, less possibility, if not zero, of falling down that hill like you used to fall down that hill before. And so now it's game on. Stop comparing yourself to some old version that never really did exist in the way that you think it did, and that lived in an entirely different world than you now live in. The game is on. You're going higher. This is your natural state. You need just to surrender and be lifted higher. See what's out there. Go within. Don't be afraid. And also realize that the energies, this sounds so woo-woo, but it's so true. The energies and vibrations on planet Earth are different now than they were back then. Meaning your manifestations are faster. Meaning your emotions are heightened. Meaning that it's not comparable to where you once were. And when you get that higher vibrations make for better living, you can start navigating that as you improve your own game and look out, universe, because here you come. The game is rigged in your favor. It's totally not fair. It's like you're cheating every day. You got angels on your team. The universe knows you by name. Your dreams are meant to be. You got this. You can do it. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Please post your questions below on Facebook or Instagram. If you post today, it could be my talking point tomorrow. Tally-ho, amigos, and Susan, Julie, Suzanne, Elena, Kathy on Facebook, Vivian, Shados, the pretty mess. That's cute. Shados on Instagram. All right. Mañana.